Welcome to This Explainer. You know, have you ever actually stopped to look at your phone's home screen and just wondered, why do I open certain apps without even thinking about it? Well, today we are going on a really fascinating tour. We're going to break down the exact digital landscape that dictates our modern lives, taking us all the way from mindless, endless entertainment right through to our absolute bare-bones survival necessities. Specifically, we're going to analyze how exactly 20 specific apps have managed to totally monopolize human attention. I mean, it is not an accident that you spend hours glued to your screen, right? It's entirely by design. These 20 titans of the App Store have seamlessly integrated into literally every single facet of our daily routines. By the time we wrap up here, you are going to see your daily habits in a completely different light. So, to make sense of all this, we'll be touring the 5 major districts of our modern digital brain: the attention tyrants, the dopamine factories, everyday essentials, inseparable tools, and finally, learning and self-improvement. Let's kick things off with the most chaotic one. District number 1 is the attention tyrants. We're talking social media and short videos and how these apps so expertly condition what we see and hear. There's this popular internet joke that goes, once TikTok rings, parents raise you for nothing. And honestly, it brilliantly hits the nail on the head regarding TikTok's status as the ultimate master of sound effects and algorithmic control. It points to a really profound truth about this endless supply model. By constantly feeding you these perfectly curated, bite-sized videos, TikTok essentially bypasses your brain's natural stopping points. It is, hands down, the absolute king of digital brainwashing. Now look at how Meta captures 2 complete extremes of youth culture to keep you hooked. On one side, Instagram has totally perfected visual conditioning. Through stories and reels, it's basically the ultimate digital storefront for how we present our lives. But then, you have Threads. Known locally in Taiwan as Sway, it has rapidly become the absolute go-to gathering place for students to just vent, ramble, and speak their minds using pure text. So Meta essentially owns the whole shebang, both your highly curated visual life and your chaotic inner monologue. And of course, you have to add in YouTube's classic, unshakable status. It's that daily required check-in for video content. Whether you're settling in for a 2-hour documentary, catching a live stream, or just mindlessly scrolling through shorts, YouTube bridges the gap between deep engagement and quick hits. Between YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, these attention tyrants have built a complete, inescapable monopoly on our free time. Okay, moving on to District 2, the dopamine factories. This is where phenomenal mobile games act as literal dopamine generators and expert time thieves. The crazy thing is how each of these games hooks us using a completely different psychological trigger. Roblox, for instance, isn't just a game. It's a massive metaverse that actually turns kids into creators. Then there's Arena of Valor, which is the ultimate post-class time thief, driven heavily by peer pressure and teamwork. Eggy Party grabs the social crowd with its super high interactivity, while Candy Crush, well, it remains a cross-generational juggernaut just by weaponizing simple explosion sounds and an endless supply of levels. 3 minutes? That is exactly how long a match takes in Brawl Stars, and that speed is totally brilliant. By restricting its fast-paced dopamine hits to these ultra-short bursts, it squeezes perfectly into the tiny gaps of our daily schedules. It makes it incredibly, incredibly hard to put down. Leaving the games behind, we head into the commercial district for Section 3, Modern Everyday Essentials. Here we're looking at the streaming and lifestyle apps we rely on for basic comfort and survival. Really think about the sounds that rule your life. These apps use powerful auditory cues to condition us, pretty much exactly like Pavlov's dogs. When you hear the Netflix ta-dum, your brain is instantly conditioned to relax, practically forcing you onto the sofa. The signature "you have a new order" alert from Uber Eats or Foodpanda, that's the ultimate sound of modern redemption when you're starving. And then there's Shopee. The second that free shipping notification dings, everybody's wallets just automatically start bleeding. These aren't just apps anymore. They are deeply ingrained psychological triggers. While those apps actively grab our attention, we absolutely can't forget our background companions. Spotify and Apple Music are the indispensable saviors of our modern ears. Whether you're packed on a crowded train for your commute or just trying to block out the noise during a heavy study session, these apps serve as the essential, constant soundtracks and podcast players that honestly just get us through the daily grind without losing our minds. All right, let's dive into District 4, Inseparable Digital Tools. This is the functional communication and practical text that we literally cannot function without. For our first example here, we have to look at Line. For Taiwanese users, the signature ding-dong of Line is pretty much baked right into their DNA. It has completely transcended being just a simple messaging app. It's a unified, absolutely critical hub for everything from daily texts and voice calls to literally sending money to your friends. It is the core infrastructure of digital social life. And look at how fast our tools are evolving right now. ChatGPT represents a fundamental shift in how we handle data and knowledge. It has quickly become the ultimate shortcut, whether it's students writing complex reports, professionals researching massive topics, or people just chatting to kill some time. Generative AI has firmly positioned itself as the new, inseparable external brain for the modern user. Meanwhile, our whole relationship with privacy and navigation has completely flipped. Huge numbers of young students are now using these popsicle apps, things like Woo or Peer, which are the successors to the legendary Zenly app, to constantly monitor their friends' real-time locations. It's a totally new flavor of digital socializing. And on the flip side, Google Maps remains the ultimate, indispensable savior for the directionally challenged. Let's be real here, half of us wouldn't even be able to find our way back home without it. Finally, we arrive at District 5, Learning and Self-Improvement. This is the productive zone where apps are actually designed to help us build real skills. Duolingo completely flips the script by actually leveraging internet culture to force you to be productive. It is the most powerful gamified language app out there, but its real genius is its mascot. By using this famous memed green owl that playfully threatens users through push notifications to keep up their learning streaks, it turned language learning into a viral sensation. It uses the exact same dopamine hacking notification tricks as social media, but flips it to make you learn Spanish or Japanese. Brilliant, right? These functional apps are all about lowering the barrier to entry. Take Canva. It empowers literally anyone to create master-level designs with zero prior skills, which has completely changed how students make their presentations. Meanwhile, Notion has revolutionized note-taking by acting as a highly visual digital bullet journal. Young adults absolutely love it for mapping out life plans and managing complex projects. These apps take what used to be really tedious, complex tasks and turn them into highly intuitive self-improvement engines. So all of this builds to one really crucial realization. We've mapped out this entire digital ecosystem together in this explainer today. We went from the time-wasting attention tyrants and dopamine factories through the everyday essentials and communication tools, all the way over to self-improvement. But I want to leave you with one final essential thought. When your entire daily routine is triggered by a ta-dum, a ding-dong, or a push notification from an angry green owl, are these apps tools that we use to navigate the world, or are they the ones navigating us? Take a good look at your home screen today and decide for yourself who's actually in the driver's seat. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.